Okay, so now I think we should all know what the Quiet Place is. Now, today I want to talk about what makes it so scary. Now, first I want you to do one thing for me. Stay completely silent. Okay? Now, you can either pause this video or stay in that little section I just made for silence. But realize how scary and eerie it is when simply sitting alone in silence. Now, that's what makes the Quiet Place so scary. I mean, imagine having giant aliens trying to kill you and murder you when they can only punch you off of sound. Something that is very, very hard to, not make. Hell, breathing is enough to get you killed. Let's look at something in particular that I like about the Quiet Place. Why is it so scary? Well, a part of it is that the monsters in general look very scary, alien-like, making it kind of feel, not kind of, but make it feel like you're actually in a sense of danger than, let's say, if they used like a wolf that had extra hearing. Wouldn't make much sense, would it? So, what makes the Quiet Place so scary is not the monsters itself, in my own opinion. It's just the quietness and the tense atmosphere while being still silent. It's almost like old action movies, or movies in general, slideshows. In a way, it kind of is a slideshow, except it just has better touch-ups from nowadays. But it's just a slideshow with noise, if you really do think about it, because that's what movies are, slideshows. If you think about it like that, the Quiet Place becomes even more scary because it's silence. It's utter silence. It's you understand the scariness of how silence makes us scared. It's an unnatural human instinct. Like I said, sit and wait in pure silence. Trust me, you'll never feel more scared in your life. So yeah, that's what makes Holiday so scary. But another thing I want to focus on is the monsters itself. They feel alien enough to where they're like, oh yeah, this is a danger, but not too alien to where this becomes like funny. I mean, look at movies like The Mist. Some points, like tentacles, to me personally, they look a little stupid. Some shots, they look a little weird. But the Quiet Place monsters are designed in such a way that it makes you feel scared. Humans' best invention was the gun, and these things can withstand a buckshot, well, shot from point blank range. And yeah, that's a little scary. Basically, they take one of our hardest things to not make sound, and they manage to make it so scary because we cannot kill them, at least easily, at least. See, that's what I like about Quiet Place. It makes you think about how our ancient ancestors managed to survive in, well, pure silence. It also gives you an idea of how modern our world is now. Think of this happened now. Look at A Quiet Place Day One. In the opening shots of the movie, it showed a decibel meter on how loud New York City is. I can't remember what exactly it was, but I think it was either 40 or like 160 in that range. So yeah, if you know, please comment down below. But you begin to grasp how much noise we make as a society, and I think these monsters are well done simply because they use sound. I mean, yeah, we've all had monsters that can hear us and see us, but solely using sound, I feel like the Quiet Place is so scary because of two main aspects. The monster, as I just talked about, and the music. It gives you how much of a realization how not only music cannot be listened to anymore very well as, let's say, I turn on music right now. I would have to wear headphones to, not get murdered. And it gives you a sense of gratitude to sound in general, like natural sounds. Think of the waterfall and The Quiet Place 1. It makes you think that stuff like this is very rare. And having to stay silent, well, for some of us, can be very hard. That's what I think capsulates it. And now let's talk about the other side of music. The sounds. The music feels mundane enough to where it feels like you're actually there in an action movie, not a horror movie. You feel like there's tension without needing to have sound. And when there is sound, it gets elevated to the highest degree, which I think is very impressive. I don't know any other franchise, I wouldn't say franchise, I would say series, that managed to encapsulate the sound of movies in a way that makes it very powerful. Think of mini horror movies, like Scream. Yeah, the sounds are very good, but it doesn't rely on sound. See, the thing is, Quiet Place is kind of like a double-edged sword. It relies on sound, but also not. It's weird. Like, in the Quiet Place, what is it? I'm playing it in the background. I can't remember what the name is, but the music and the tension makes you feel scared. As someone who has played many horror games, you can feel the tension in the air, almost as if you could cut it like a knife through butter. And I think this is what does it so well. Utter silence. Just listen to the surroundings around you. You realize how scary it is to be in utter silence. Now, that is one thing that I will find that is very scary in my own opinion. But the things that are unavailable in this world, screaming, shouting, anything to do with loud noises, is terrifying. Like, I mean, in the Quiet Place 1 and in the game, your character and the main character, I can't remember her name, but they both had to go through some sort of child, I wouldn't say labor, but child in general. One is going through birth, one is having to struggle with keeping the child in a world like this, one where you have to say it's quiet as a mouse. Now, I think this brings emphasis on how scary a quiet place actually is. Because if you're an average Joe, you're probably not going to make it, and I can't say much more than that. Like if you're not like a survival expert and figure this out on day one, you're kind of screwed. So that's what makes this so scary. Is that only the top of the best of when it comes to survival and aid get to survive. But even then, we're talking about like stuff like child. It's hard to have a child where you cannot have sound. Think of it like that. It's hard to make sound when you can't make sound. You know? Like think of the tension in A Quiet Place 1. Think about it. You have even you behind the screen, wherever you're watching, in the movie theater, at home, behind a PC. You are going to naturally stay quiet yourself. And that says something about The Quiet Place as a series. Most things won't make you go dead silent because the characters are dead silent. I don't know about y'all watching this at home, but personally, I like to talk to my TV and yell about how stupid the characters are. But in A Quiet Place, I stay completely silent, scared to make a sound. That is something powerful that not very many series get to do to the viewer or the player. It's something powerful. And that's why I like The Quiet Place. And if you like this, I suggest that you please like and subscribe, and everything helps me out. If you like this, like I said, please think about subscribing.